Hello everyone, welcome back to the Vampire the Masquerade Night Road playthrough by Kyle Marquise. We're joining Spade again, the Ventru courier, in the sands of Tucson, Arizona, as we do various courier jobs for the Camarilla there. So far, we've pulled back into our parking garage. We just got back from St. Basil's Hospital, where we met a Bruja by the name of Pattersnack, last I recall, and he taught us some various disciplines. After that, we took a brief peek at some real estate here, found out we couldn't afford it, and therefore moving on to the next job. Alright, and without a further ado, let's begin. That day you dream of sand. Smoke rises from the twin wrecks that stain the dunes. Your albatross was merely a functional machine, adequate if unloved, but the prototype staggering Spad your rival flew was a thing of beauty. You've seen many wars, but never one so unlovely as this one. Your shattered legs are still healing, better than burning, you tell yourself. Then sand slides down another dune. The other pilot. His goggles and cap are gone, so his shaggy blonde hair gleams in the moonlight. He sees you, draws a pistol, then puts it away. You should be dead, you say. Try Arabic, then French. I fell from horses when I was alive, he answers. And now I fall from planes. They both hurt about as much. The nearest village is 30 miles to the north. Shall we walk together? As you walk, you consider what this means. August 1917. This pointless war has filled you with doubts. You joined. Why did you even join? To become a hero? To prove yourself to the Banu Hakim elders of the Ottoman Empire? But now you realize the smallness of the truth. For Cainites, the highest virtue is survival. Just getting by from night to night is all one can really ask. Maybe other things can follow that, mercy or rage, art or wealth. But without mere survival, there is nothing. This truth is harsh, but inaugural. I must prioritize perpetuating my own existence. I take care of myself, but I'm not going to survive just to survive. My existence needs more than that. I defy this false belief. Cainites are parasites on the world. Our existence is a blight. I might want to perpetuate my existence, but I will not call that a virtue. I think Spade, though this is not quite Spade, this is Isla, our not so diablerized elder that currently resides in our brain. Spade's always been about survival. I will pick the first option. This truth is harsh, but inaugural. I must prioritize perpetuating my own existence. Higher aspirations might be noble, but you swear yourself to survival at all cost. You will do what you must to see the next midnight, and the one after that, and so on down the ages. Conviction gained. Kindred should do what they must to survive. Where to tonight? Well, all of these, as we previously saw in the last episode, are areas in which we can look for items, real estate, spend our XP. We already are pretty full on blood, so let's see, just as a refresher, what are our remaining missions. The Tucson Camarilla has 2 more driving tasks for you, to be tackled in any order. First, Prince Leto wants you to deliver an order shutting down the biomedical and secret blood sorcery operation at Kiowa Xenogenics in New Mexico, run by the Tremere Nvidia, Cow. There is also some kind of warning to your sire, Ellen Olive Crona, at a detention center called Camp Sherfill along the Texas-Mexico border. I apologize, those names are quite difficult, so if I get them wrong, I'm very, very sorry. So, where to tonight? I believe we'll do the parcel for Nvidia Cowl and take it to her research lab. Since we're beefed up from the Bruja, I think we'll be okay. Chapter 5. Kiowa Xenogenics, Tucson, Arizona, night of November 15. Sunrise, 6:53 a.m. The parking lot outside the Viper's a mess, even though it's too early for the party to really start. As you turn in, you have to slam on your brakes as a piss-yellow Chevy Nova SS roars past you and accelerates the wrong way down West Alameda. Do I have to make the roll down the window gesture? A clear, slightly accented voice says. Do people still understand that? Or is it an anachronism? Prince Leto himself is standing outside, dressed in white and flanked by the mortal flunky you remember from last time. He tries to say something, but a GMC Denali rumbles past and he has to wait. Finally, he says, "You have 2 deliveries this time, Spade." Our options are 2 deliveries means 2 payments, Prince Leto. Is there a problem? Anything I can help with? If I can impress Prince Leto, I can improve my position in the Camarilla. That would make blood cheaper. And maybe our apartment cheaper. What's changed? After what happened to Prince Leto's school Miguel at St. Basil's, I need to know more about the dangers out there. You look dashing this evening, Prince. I like the cowboy hat. I do want to flirt with him. I think, I really, okay. Would Spade flirt with the prince? Spade is focused on getting the apartment, so is there a problem? Anything I can help with? Trying to improve our position. But I really want to... Alright, cowboy hat. We have to tell him he looks hot. Or is it a Panama hat? Does a Panama hat automatically become a cowboy hat when it has a turquoise? Anyway, your response is drowned out by a Kawasaki bike that revs up and takes off. At least the rider goes the right way down the street. This will help you if Dr. Cowell is difficult, Prince Leto says, handing you a letter of introduction written on a vanillium in Latin. The laminated English copy is for the faculty's human security. It basically says that no one should stop you from speaking with Dr. Cowell. It's good to feel important, like the Camarilla trusts you. He also gives you a portable push-button lockbox that contains the actual message. What about the other delivery, you ask? Someone will find you on the road, the prince says. Look for a red Corolla. That's dangerous and complicated, but Prince Leto already walked away to talk to another courier. There are, 5 in this parking lot? You don't recognize any either. Most of them must be Prince Leto's personal flunkies. What the hell is going on? You push it out of your mind, you know where you're going. Whatever finds you on the road will find you. You peel out. It's a 9-hour drive, and you researched motels and abandoned buildings starting at Albuquerque in case traffic or trouble leaves you stranded. Fortunately, traffic is light. You drive east on the 10 and past the spot where you ditched your Honda CRX. Idly curious, you spend 20 minutes exploring the abandoned filling station. But the ride is long gone. Julian texts you as you're heading back to your car. She's going to turn you into a newt when she learns the Eagles cut her off. Before you can respond, another text. Get her on our side, or try to recruit her scholars, scientists, etc. I need good people, unlike some usurpers I could name. I don't spit acid at people when I lose my temper. An hour later, he texts, learn everything you can about the facility. Collect blood samples if possible. I hear she's captured a witch. I don't believe in witches, but check it out anyway. 20 minutes later, a final text. I've ruined another of your phones. Drop it off in the bathroom at the next Shell station. Don't destroy the SIM card. There's a replacement under the sink. I hate Julian. A few more minutes up the road, you spot the Shell station. You pull in and do the phone trick again. A few minutes later, you pass a garage marked with Julian's Karambit and make a mental note of its location. The hard copy map on your dashboard insists that you are going from one town to the next, but you don't see anything. Just the road and distant lights from the highway. Even Albuquerque is just a blur of low buildings and exit ramps. Past Santa Fe, the landscape grows more lush, with scrubby trees lining the highway, and the distant hills dotted with green, subtle hues visible to your sensitive eyes. The drive takes you through lots of towns named after bigger towns. The landscape grows rocky and pale. Cliffs rise beside the road. You stop at the last all-night gas station to fill your Honda's tank, then head into a wild, ungoogled landscape that stretches flat all the way to St. Louis for all you know. There's no radio out here, so you try to enjoy the sound of the engine, because you don't want anything on your disposable phones. No trouble, though. No tails. No weird unmarked cars. No circling eagles. For now. Researching NVIDIA Cal has been difficult, even with Julian's interest in recruiting her. NVIDIA first popped up in major New York chantry as the errand girl for a far more powerful member of Clan Tremere. When the Beckoning lured elders to the Middle East and the Second Inquisition destroyed the Tremir's most important chantry in Vienna, she grabbed as many resources as she could and fled into the desert. Like plenty of scholarly kindred, Dr. Call dreams of breeding animals with human quality blood. You're not sure if she's been successful, but you know that her facility, Kiowa's Energetics, has connections to biomedical firms all over the world. Too many connections. In fact, those connections don't exactly represent a breach of the Masquerade, but the whole situation is too close to daylight for Prince Leteau's liking. No wonder he's shutting her down. He'd probably wipe KXG off the map if he could. She's not going to like that, and vampires tend to shoot the messenger. You're between towns, about an hour from the legal limits of Dr. Call's territory, when headlights appear behind you. They're coming up hard. You shift to feel the weight of the gun you wear under your silkscreen jacket, then instinctively put a hand on your suitcase, where you keep the data destined for Dr. Call. The headlights blow past you, then the vehicle spins out, throwing up dust and grit. It skids to a halt 100 yards up the road, its headlights pointing out into the big expanse of nothing that waits outside every New Mexico highway. You slow down when you see the red Corolla, or to be more precise, the maroon Toyota AE86. This is the car Prince Leteau mentioned. The little hatchback looks to be in good shape. What is it, 85, 86? It's an import. Regular left-hand drive. You slam on the brakes and swerve as a figure stumbles onto the road. You manage to control your spin and end up parked on the other side of the road. You back up so you're next to the Corolla. Carlos is leaning against his passenger door, looking ashen and clutching his stomach. You haven't seen him since your first visit to the Tucson Elysium. Leteau's servant Alexander said Carlos was a cop. That's a good thing for a vampire to keep on the payroll. Though this guy doesn't look like a cop now, he looks like roadkill. It takes Carlos a moment to focus on you. He says something, but you can't hear him over the pounding beats of the Kerncraft 400. "Turn that down!" you shout. He nods vaguely and crawls back into his car to turn the music down, leaving a smear of blood on the door handle. That's not good, and we're not gonna eat him. Spade? Prince Leteau actually sent you? The fucking blue blood? You have something for me? You ask, glancing back toward the road, but it's quiet. Just a few cars driving past, and none of them could see you or the AE86. Carlos holds up a rugged plastic pelican case in matte black. You'd like to use it to transport a pistol or a really good optical camera. Leteau wants this delivered to a waiting plane. Where? He turns the case around. An address and a key are to the other side. Blood has stained the tape. You consult your mental map of New Mexico. That's 2 hours south, and you're not going south. And he needs it to be there by 6 a.m. The plane can't wait any longer than that. You shake your head. A 6 a.m. delivery gives you no time to get under cover. Calm the fuck down, Carlos says. There's a whole bunch of trailers just up the road from where you're going. The key is right here. He holds up the case again. Just do the job. Ugh, fuck me. Are you okay? I don't want this guy dying on me. I might even try to stop that from happening. I'd rather rob than fuck him. Is there any way I can get at Carlos? I run parcels for money, Carlos. Pay me or I'm finishing my delivery. No, you can't do that. Who attacked you? The same people who killed Miguel at St. Basil's? I need a bigger picture if I'm going to stay safe and undestroyed. I could get something out of Carlos and Leteau for saving him, especially a favor. We'll pick that one. You want to kiss me and make it better? Carlos snaps. I'm fucking fine. Still got some Dove's vitae in me. He concentrates, sweat pouring from his face. After a moment, breathing more easily, though his skin is still ashen. Deliver this parcel, he says, throwing it through his driver's side window onto your lap. Or Prince Leteau will make Rita peck your eyes out while I watch. Don't let the Inquisition get it, or the Anarchs. Anarchs, you say? Carlos restarts his AE86 and roars on out of here, blasting your Honda with dust and grit. You pocket the key and check the address one more time. 2 hours? This isn't a Scotty on Star Trek problem. By all known laws of physics, getting there in that time is entirely possible, but it's cops all over the road problem. You can't afford to get pulled over doing 105 down some New Mexico highway. You check your maps and consider the possibilities. A busier road would let you weave through traffic and stay hidden, though you'd have to pay attention and avoid police cruisers. There's also a less busy route, where you could just thrust to raw speed and determination to get where you need to go. Are those the only 2 routes? You might be able to find another one using your maps if you study them, but that might take time you don't have. I'm not checking the case. That's not what we're going to do. So let's check our drive ability. Show stats. Drive. It is somewhere. Drive. I have 2 dots in drive. We could weave. Nearly deserted road. Honda's raw speed, my own determination to outrace anyone else. We do have a big brain. Let's use our big brain. You unfurl your maps and look for roads that police are likely to overlook, reading quickly by the glow of your dome light because you cannot waste more time than a few minutes. Then, confident you found the perfect frontage road along which you can accelerate to your heart's content, you set out. After just a few minutes, you spot a car following you. You dodge around a slow-moving Mercedes and try to get a good look at it. It's a black Camaro, specifically a 1987 IROC-Z. Camaros were cheap muscle cars in your youth, beloved of all metalheads and horsepower geeks. But as you try to get a better view of this one, it slips away around a van, and suddenly it's gone. Camaro shouldn't be able to move like that. You slow down for a moment, remember you have places to be. You speed back up, still scanning for the Camaro, but it doesn't return. It's probably nothing. The highway is clear and dark, other cars were almost non-existent, and nothing touches you for the hour and 45 minutes it takes to reach the turnoff. That went perfectly. You brake only slightly as you take the exit, then you accelerate and race for your target. The Pelican case bouncing on the passenger seat next to your suitcase. You brake hard when the asphalt suddenly vanishes beneath your wheels, leaving you on a dirt path illuminated by starlight. You weren't exactly expecting a whole secret airport, but there's barely even an airstrip ahead of you, just a patch of hard, packed earth surrounded by jagged rocks in one direction and an infinite-seeming expanse of yellow sedge in the other. You're early. You can tell because you hear a buzzing whine overhead. You lean out the window and spot a small twin-engine light aircraft coming in for a landing. It should arrive in a minute or so. You roll your Honda into position so you can hand off the parcel as quickly as possible. You're feeling entirely confident until the floodlights hit you. Half a dozen black Buick Aveners are now visible not far from your position. One SUV has a light strip on the roof which illuminates the airplane and catches your Honda at the edge of its light. The FBI's Special Affairs Division is here. You're getting ready to roll backward when a shot rings out. You duck, but they're not shooting at you. 3 wolves rush the SUV closest to the tall grass. One beast smashes right through the passenger window. A moment later, blood sprays all over the inside of the windshield. It takes you a moment to recognize them as kindred, and probably anarchs. Well, at least it's not werewolves. As the wolf gangrel swarm out of the devastated SUV, more appear from the darkness and rush the Inquisition on ATVs, armed with old rifles or cheap submachine guns. They open fire with wild abandon, laughing even when they get hit, what's a gunshot, and fall to the kindred. The ATVs throw up a cloud of dust that obscure the battle. You're not sure what gangrel are doing here, but as the battle erupts, you have to clear a path to the airplane. The pilot's visible now, illuminated in the open side door. Just before you can roll forward, a dark blue 1963 Ford Fairline roars past you, heading for the plane, its driver visible only for a moment in silhouette. You catch a glimpse of a French braid and heavy, hulking physique, but the federal agents with guns remain visible in the glow of the floodlight. The airplane rolls forward, getting ready to take off, but the side door remains open. You could throw the parcel in if you just get close enough. Dust from the ATVs swirl around the runway. So it's a race then. You need to get this parcel to that airplane before those agents shoot the pilot to shreds. And you're gonna do it while Gangrel anarchs rip into the FBI. You gun the engine. Even as you start to move, you analyze the field ahead of you. The raging battle to your right isn't actually your problem. Whoever wins, Gangrel or the Second Inquisition, they won't be able to interfere before the plane takes off. The twin engine is moving faster now. Its running lights and the glowing, rounded rectangle of its open door barely visible through the swirling dust. With the fair line in the way, there's no clear path where you can just accelerate hard and get close enough to throw the parcel. The path ahead is rough, dangerously rough at one point, where there's a large bump in the road that you hesitate to go over even in an old Ford. You know what? Fuck this, and fuck Leteau's errand. I ditch the parcel and get out of here before my car gets trashed. We can get another one. I close in on the fair line and open fire with my pistol, staying composed as bullets fly everywhere. Shooting a few agents will give me some time to drop off the parcel. I steer into the dust cloud. That clever and deceptive maneuver will confound the Fairline's driver and let me get ahead of her. There has to be a straightaway where I can use my Honda's speed. It won't be easy, but I'll look around for one in a few seconds I have to accelerate. I take my Honda right over that bump in the road and hold onto it with all my strength to cut around the Fairline. That sounds like a bad idea. I steel my nerves and force the Fairline off the road. Even through the medium of a car, I know how to scare someone. I rely on my throwing abilities to get that parcel into the door. It'll be hard to hit the target from so far away, but no harder than trying to drive across the battlefield. We're not doing option 1. I do think... Let me check my stats again. I know I'm checking them a lot, but I'm uninjured. We have big Masquerade violations. That's not good. Combat, bad. Firearms, good. Drive, good. Intimidation, not so good. Here's what we'll do. I do believe we'll do I close in on the fair lane and open fire with my pistol, staying composed as bullets fly everywhere. Shooting a few agents will give me time to drop off the parcel. When in doubt, shoot a few cops. That's terrible advice under most circumstances, but you're pretty sure it applies here. You accelerate, roll your windows down, and get up alongside the fair lane. These are professionals. They see you coming and open fire. Bullets zip over your head. One thumps into the passenger seat. Totally composed despite the flying lead, you aim across the cabin of your car and put 2 bullets into the agents leaning out the fair lane. The fair lane swerves away. You keep it lined up with your passenger window and empty your magazine into its rear windshield. A driver swerves wildly and nearly hits a Buick SUV coming up to intercept you. Both skid to a halt. You drop your empty pistol into the driver's side door pocket and accelerate so you're alongside the prop plane. You grab the Pelican case and fling it through the door. The airplane lifts off. You spin your Honda around, blasting gravel, and get off the strip, driving right through the yellow sedge with your lights off as the Gangrel FBI battle rages behind you. But no one follows you, and after a few minutes, you slow down. Nice. Another mission accomplished. You head for the mobile home community where you're supposed to have shelter for the day. You're inside an old Airstream with 15 minutes to spare. The next evening, you peek outside, then run a few slow-as-molasses internet searches to see if anyone might have followed you here. Nothing. You did it. You remind yourself that Leteau owes you another $1,000, and get back on the road toward Kiowa Xenogenics. I know today's episode was a rather short one, but I do believe for our future episodes, they will be, instead of an entire chapter per episode, we will go for about 30 minutes or so to make sure everyone can have time to enjoy each episode. They'll still come out every other week on Mondays, so please be sure to join us. Thank you again for joining me for the Vampire the Masquerade Night Road playthrough. I was your host, Elise Hawes. Feel free to check out the rest of the playthrough in the playlist as well as other videos on our YouTube channel, and I hope to see you all on our next episode.